Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about Miss Princess Diana. Um, she was born July the 1st, 1961, and tragically she died in a car crash um, on August the 31st, 1997. She was a member of the British royal family. We all know that she was married to now King Charles, and she has two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. Um, so let's get into her story. So Diana was born into British nobility and grew up close to the royal family um, at their estate, which was not far from the royal family's estate. And in 1981, while working as a nursery teacher's assistant, she became engaged to Charles, the eldest son of Queen Elizabeth. Their wedding took place at St. Paul's Cathedral in 1981 and made her Princess of Wales, a role that she was thrilled about, and the people received her well. The couple had two sons, William and Harry, who were then respectively the second and third in line to the succession of the British throne. Diana's marriage to Charles suffered due to incompatibility. They didn't get along. And extramarital affairs. They all the time saying that he was with Camilla when he was supposed to be with Diana. They separated in 1992, and soon after the breakdown of the relationship became public knowledge, the marital difficulties were widely publicized, and the couple divorced in 1996. As Princess of Wales, Diana undertook royal duties on behalf of the Queen and represented her at functions across the Commonwealth realms. She was celebrated in the media for her unconventional approach to charity work. Her charities include um, charities included were centered around children and the elderly, but she later became known for her involvement in two particular campaigns. One involved social attitudes towards the acceptance of AIDS patients, and the other for the removal of landmines promoted through the International Red Cross. She also raised awareness and advocated for ways to help people affected by cancer and mental illness. Diana was initially noted for her shyness, but her charisma and friendliness endeared her to the public and helped her reputation survive the public collapse of her marriage. Considered photogenic, she was the leader of fashion in the 1980s and 1990s. And then shortly after that, I think 96, 97 is when she got involved with Dodi Fayed. They were on vacation in France um, when her death took place. And on August 31st, 1997, Diana died in a car crash at the Pont de Leon tunnel in Paris while her driver was fleeing the paparazzi. The crash also resulted in the deaths of her companion Dodi Fayed and their driver Henri Paul, who also was the acting security manager for the Ritz Hotel in Paris where they were at. Trevor Reese Jones, who was employed as a bodyguard by Dodi's father, but he survived the crash, suffered serious head injury, and the televised funeral for Diana was on September 6th and was watched by British television. There was a British television audience that peaked at 32.1 million, which was one of the United Kingdom's highest viewing figures ever. Millions more watched the event over the world. I'm in America, I'm in North Carolina, and I watched it. her funeral. The sudden and unexpected death of an extraordinary popular royal figure brought statements from senior figures worldwide and many tributes by the members of the public. And people left flowers, candles, cards, and personal messages outside Kensington Palace for many months. Her coffin was draped with the royal flag and was brought to London from Paris by Prince Charles and Diana's two sisters on August the 31st, 1997. The coffin was taken to the private mortuary and then placed at Chapel Royal, St. John's Palace. On September the 5th, Queen Elizabeth paid tribute to her in a live television broadcast, and Diana's funeral took place in Westminster Abbey on September the 6th. Her sons walked in a funeral procession behind her coffin, along with her ex-husband, Prince of Wales, and the Duke of Edinburgh. Diana's brother, Lord Spencer, which is where she's at right now. She's on her brother, Lord Spencer's land at Althorpe, is where she's at right now. And representatives for some of her charities also attended her funeral. Elton John sang a song at her funeral, which I remember, and wrote a dedication to her. It's called Candle in the Wind, 1987. It was his original song, and it was performed live and released as a single in 1987. The collectible proceeds for the song have gone to Diana's charities, and the burial took place privately later the same day, and Diana's former husband, sons, mother, siblings, and a close friend and clergyman were all present. Diana's body was clothed in a black long-sleeve dress designed by Catherine Walker, which was chosen some weeks before. A set of rosary beads was received from Mother Teresa and was placed in her hands, and Diana's grave is on an island within the gardens of Althorpe Park, which is where she grew up. An initial French judicial investigation concluded that the crash was caused by Paul's intoxication, reckless driving, speeding, and effects of prescription drugs. In 1998, Mohammed Al-Fayed, which is Dodi Fayed's father, publicly said that the crash, which killed his son, had been planned, and accused MI6 and the Duke of Edinburgh, and an inquest was started in London in 2004 and continued to 2007-2008. Attributed the crash to grossly negligent driving by Paul and pursuing paparazzi, who forced Paul to speed into the tunnel, and on April 7, 2008, the jury returned a verdict of unlawful killing. On the day of the final verdict of the inquest, Al-Fayed announced that he would end his 10-year campaign to establish that the tragedy was murder. He said that he did this for Dodi and Diana's sake and for their children. She left, following her death, Diana left 21 million pounds in her estate, netting $17 million after estate taxes, which were left in the hands of her trustees, her mother, and her sister. The will was signed in June 1993 but Diana had it modified in February 1996 to remove the name of her personal secretary from the list of trustees and have her sister replaced um, with the trustee's name. Um, she left an inheritance of £12.9 million to be split between William and Harry. And when they reached the age of 30, they got £10 million apiece, which was in 2012 and 2014. Among the objects were the dresses and suits, among numerous family paintings and jewels. And Diana's engagement ring and yellow gold watch were given to William and Harry, respectively. And William later passed his ring off to Kate Middleton. And her wedding dress was also given to her sons. In addition to the will, Diana had also written a letter of wishes in which she asked that 3/4 of her personal property be given to her sons and dividing the remainder quarter alongside from her jury among the 17 godchildren. Despite Diana's wishes, the executors, her mother and her sister, petitioned the probate court for variance of the will and the letter of wishes, which was ignored. Why did y'all ignore it? But it did not contain certain language required by British law. Eventually, one item from Diana's estate was given to each of her godchildren, while they would have received £100,000 each. Had a quarter of her estate been divided between them. The variance also prevented the estate from being distributed between her sons at the age of 25, but postponed it until they were 30. So they were supposed to get their money, £10 million each. They're supposed to get 25, but they told them to wait till they were 30. So I don't know about this one. I've had speculations. What did it say? To say some thing to the effect of it was true, but who am I? I'm an American citizen. I don't live over there. But all those paparazzi that gathered around her vehicle that caused this accident, and that something don't sit right here. But I'll see y'all in the next video, and we're going to discuss Kaylee Anthony. And y'all have a good day.